This is Steve Earthen with Department of Children and Family Bureau of Finance. Welcome to Cost Report Training. This is session number 5 of 8 sessions that will be available. This session is going to cover the Programs tab. With the Programs tab, what you're going to use the Program tab for, if you're a provider that has multiple programs under one provider ID number, when you are on the cover page, you are going to want to select that yes, you have multiple programs associated with this one service provider ID number. When you select that yes, what that's going to do is enable the Programs tab for you as well as the other tabs for you to complete and break out specific costs that are related to a specific program. If you have multiple programs, you may have a regular, say you have a regular RCC program and you have an intensive RCC program, and you keep those separate, and you're looking for a separate rate for each one of those programs. When you get here to the Programs tab, your agency name as well as the service provider name will automatically be carried forward from what was entered in the cover page. Then for your first program, what you're going to want to do is list the program name and what your provider current program daily rate is. After that, you'll continue to move on down and put in the license capacity beds. And if you have questions regarding license capacity beds, you can check the definitions. Check the definitions. You can either look at under verification, or you can look under the Program tab, and it'll give you the definitions related to license capacity beds, or if you have questions regarding program staff beds. Go back to the Programs tab. There's also where you'll enter your program staff beds, and working down again, you're going to complete all the cells that are highlighted in yellow. Next, you will report your out-of-state placement days, your private, as well as your Wisconsin period placement days. Again, that's not going to, as you can see, if I click on that because of the yellow, again, it's not going to be 365 because you have kids in care every day of the year. It's going to be the total days for the total number of kids. So if you have one kid that is in your care for the entire year, that will be 365 days for that child. And then if you have another child, say, that was in your care for 6 months, that would be half the year, or 182 days. So then you would take, if those were the only 2 kids you had, you'd take the total of those 2, which would be 547 days. Okay, so it's going to be the total days for the total number of kids. Okay, it won't be 365. One kid would be 365. So another example, if today you had 4 kids in placement, today would count as 4 placement days. All right, so hopefully that clarifies that. As we continue to move down and look for the yellow boxes, here's where you're going to put in your ratios, okay? Your direct staff ratios. So what that is the number of staff to children. So if you have 1 staff per 4 children, you would put 4 in here because your ratio is 1 to 4. Again, you have it for daytime hours, you have it for daytime school hours, and you have it for nighttime. And then you have the same that you would do for supervision. So if you have 1 supervisor that overlooks 4 of your direct care staff, and each one of your direct care staff looks over 4 kids, then it's going to be, your ratio would be 1 supervisor to 16 kids. Okay, because if each one of the direct care staff looked after 4 kids, and you had 4, the supervisor looked over 4 direct care staff, obviously 4 times 4 is 16, so that's how you would report that there. Then what you would want to do is come up and enter your second program. Again, you're going to enter the program name and complete all the additional yellow boxes going down with your beds available, capacity and staff beds, your placement days, and again, your ratios. Okay. If you report costs on the property and transportation and consumable tabs, they get allocated appropriately based on the number of beds. But if you have additional costs that are broken down specifically besides based on the number of beds, what you could do is list those costs here. You would not list those costs then on the other tabs. You would list them just here on the Programs tab. For example, if I have, let's say my mortgage or my rent isn't based on the staff beds because one area is a lot larger than the other, what I could do then is put in the description that my rent, and then I could select the cost category from the drop down. I could select the type from the drop down, and then what I could do is enter how much gets allocated, what the dollar amount that gets allocated to program 1, and what the dollar amount gets allocated to program 2. Okay, and then you could do that for how many ever lines you need and how many ever programs you need. If you have 3 programs, then you're just going to list the name for all 3 programs and fill out the information that corresponds with that program below in the yellow cells. And that concludes the training regarding the Programs tab. Thank you very much.